An important part of working with any creative software is keeping various layers and objects organized. With ZBrush, it's especially important to make sure that each subtool has a unique name. If not, you're going to run into problems because the software can get confused about which subtool is which if they have the same name. So let's look at some ways to keep this from happening. Okay, let's look at the subtools in this scene. You can see that there's many of them, and many of them have the same name. So all of these little hair bits are called hair. The belt loops are all called loop. There's two different shoes, both named shoe, so on and so forth. Now, features like GoZ and Transpose Master actually export subtools to subroutines or other programs, and when they get imported back into the main program, ZBrush, it could create unexpected results. So let's go to one of these subtools that has a duplicate name. So for example, the main body here is called Hank, but so is our dummy object at the top. So what I can do is just click on rename, and I'm going to type in body. I have the rename button set to the hotkey Alt-N because I use it all the time, but that's just my preference. You can change it to that or not. Now this button is really useful if you just want to rename one subtool. But what if you have a whole lot of subtools to rename, or you're not sure if you might have a duplicate and it would be tedious to go through a really long list and try to compare names and see if you have duplicate names? There is a quick plugin to fix that. Before I use this plugin, I want to make sure that all of my subtools are visible. So you can see up here, this one was hidden. And a quick way to make sure you've got them all visible is actually to go to the subtool that's currently active and click the eyeball on that one. What it does is it actually goes through and hides everything first, and if you click it one more time, it will make everything visible. You also want to make sure that you've got solo mode turned off so that you can see all the other subtools. If you accidentally have this one turned on, then even though they're all visible here in our subtool palette, we can only see the currently active subtool. So let's make sure that's off. Okay, so now let's go up to Z Plugin, Subtool Master, and let's click on Do Visible. So what this does is it pops up a few more actions that can be applied to every visible subtool. And what we want to do is turn on Correct Duplicate Subtool Names and hit OK. And you can see it's just going through all of the subtools, looking for duplicates and renaming them. So if ZBrush is acting weird, this is one of the things you want to check first, because if you have duplicate subtool names, it will cause problems.